We're going out on the video chat today to Toronto. Very pleased to be welcomed by one of my all-time favorites, CO2, Chad Owens, joining us today. There he is, joining us from his home. How you doing, Chad?
Good, man. How's it going, Rod?
100% real good. I know a lot of fans be smiling to see you across their screens this morning and listen to you. If you can, there you go. Clark will tell you to try and put yourself in the middle of your shot. I know it's kind of hard. How is life in the world of Chad Owens these days?
It's good, man. Just obviously still working out, staying in shape, and training a lot of athletes, and actually coaching my son now, his high school football team. So he's playing senior ball. He's a quarterback, and just enjoying that time.
You know, Clark had mentioned, our producer, that you wondered what we were going to talk about, and I think there's a lot of things to talk about with you about a Hall of Fame career and maybe the way things ended with the Riders, for one, because not a lot was said. You know, you weren't used till late in the season, that kind of thing. So I guess, are we sitting here today saying you're waiting for a call, or is your playing career behind you? Have you made that decision yet?
You know what? I'm ready. If I do get a call, I could play next week. But you know what? As the weeks go on, days go on, I can't just sit here and dwell on, am I going to get a chance? I'm working on my transition, actually developing an app as we speak, called Transition Game, helping athletes transition out of sport. You hit that point towards the end and you start to think about, man, is this my last year? Guys, it's a lot of athletes fall into that scenario where they don't know what they're going to do. And I was living proof of that. So, developing this, along with, Ricky Foley, and, we're going to be launching this probably, in 2020, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing tool for guys to utilize, and understand that your transition out of sport starts the minute you enter. So that's what we're working on.
Absolutely, and I couldn't. I'm proud of you guys for doing that. But you're talking about two guys there with Hall of Fame careers, two of the biggest stars this league has ever had. And I got to know you with your time with the Rough Riders, and just loved every minute of you here. But you weren't on the field as much as I would like. You weren't on the field as much as you would like. When you look back at your time with the Riders, how will you think about it?
You know what? It's everyone. You hear about it. And I talked about it as soon as I signed. It's a place where you definitely would like to play, be on that team, because Rider Nation is something special. They are the biggest supporters in the league, not just for their team but for the CFL. That's evident at every Grey Cup, and it's just an electric atmosphere. Especially with New Mosaic. And the amazing job, they did there. So, it didn't go the way I planned and I would have liked. And I'm sure it's the same way for a lot of fans. But you know what? That's sports. That's football. And I'm glad I was able to experience that. And, I got to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback there, made new friends. And you know what? It's always a learning experience, no matter, where you're at. So, yeah, man. Rider Nation was definitely something special.
Chad, two questions. One, your new business partner, Ricky Foley, and you, who has more tattoos? And two, I assume you've been watching some CFL this year. Why do you think returners, you have been one of the best throughout your career, why are the returners having such success this year?
Well, to answer the first question, I think I used to have more tattoos. I think Foley surpassed me on that one. But as far as the return touchdowns this year, it's incredible to watch. It's amazing. Being a returner myself, I just love seeing that part of the game. And the reason for it, you know what? I don't know. Like it could be a combination of coverage units, being undisciplined. A lot of times in a return game, if you're able to watch the film on the ones that didn't score, you're most times one block away, and that's a lot of the returns. You're one block away, a penalty, one guy out of position, which causes a return. So, I think all the dots have been aligning this year, and combined with great returners, man. There's some great returners in the league this year, and it's just exciting to watch. It's determining wins and losses, and you know what? It's a point of emphasis. As I heard you guys talking earlier with Coach Mike O'Shea, who was my special teams coach in Toronto. I just had a blast with him there, and as a returner, I really studied. I studied coverages. I'd sit down with Coach O'Shea and put together with him the return plan. And if you're a returner out there, man, like don't undermine that position and that play. You can take full advantage in understanding who's their top cover guys. Who's the guys that's always making the tackles. Who's the guys that's out of position a lot. So you can gain a lot of knowledge in the return game just as you can on offense and defense.
You talk about Mike O'Shea, and you heard us talking about it. I don't know, did you see him at the end of the game against Saskatchewan? And if so, what does it do for you? How does a player on the sideline react when a coach kind of gets heated after a football game?
Man, that's his passion. Coach O'Shea is a former player. And I think up to this point, he's done a phenomenal job keeping his cool, and he's always been that cool guy. But you know what? Like, that's passion. If you don't show passion and energy and emotion, like, do you want it bad enough? I'm okay with coaches showing that emotion. As a player, I'd love for my coach to show that emotion. It's whether it's deciding field goal or a goal line stance or whatever. Like, even after you win a game, there's always coaching points to be made. There's always corrections. So I'm okay with a little bit of fiery emotion, man, because that was a huge game. It's a division opponent. It's Labor Day, and you know what? That's just the way it is. We're at that point in the season where playoffs implications are getting close. So whether you're crossing over, hosting a playoff game, all those things. So every play matters, every win matters. So if there's anyone that understands that, it's Coach Mike O'Shea.
Chad Owens with us, the Flying Hawaiian this morning. We got questions from our viewers. Robin in Prince Albert wants to know, hey, CO2, if the XFL calls, would you go?
You know what? At this point, if they threw like a ton of money at me, maybe, maybe, but I don't see that happening. Like I said, I'm sort of in that transition out of the game, but still in shape and ready to play if I get a call, soon. Even if it comes to playoffs, hey, I'll give you a game. I'll give you all I got. But you know what? I'm building something here, and so to answer that question, probably not.
Well, your motivational speaking is outstanding, too. I haven't seen it. I've heard from people that have seen it, and Chad's a guy that you're going to want to book. Now, one last thing for you. You were a rider, you were a tie cap, but you're going into the Hall of Fame as an Argo. There's no two ways about it. And I really enjoyed my time at the Touchdown Atlantic being surrounded by Argos fans. And Chad, you've been in Western Canada. You realize, I think Argo fans are misunderstood. They are as passionate about their team as Rider fan. They love the Argos. There's just not enough of them.
Yes. And my Argo fans, hey, please don't take my earlier statement about, Rider Nation being the number one supporters. Every team has their supporters. Every team's got their, ride or die fans. I know I have a lot of Argo fans. And yeah, it's just, I wish that there was more, buy-in from the younger generation to sort of, bring back that tradition, because it is a great tradition. It is an unbelievable game, and I mean the Toronto market is massive. Hey, the Leafs got support, Raptors got support, FC's got support. Hey, let's support the Argos, man. Let's support what they're doing. Records shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Where you are in the standings at the end of the season. If you're a fan, all right, you're a fan. It don't matter. You show up on game day. they're providing an unbelievable experience there now. And you know what? It's go out there and support. I think that's just lacking, and it should turn around. I see it turning around, and yeah, winning championships consistently, building that following does help. But you know what? If you're from Toronto, right, you're from the 6, you should be supporting all sports within the city. So I encourage all of you guys that are here in Toronto, man, go out, support the Argos, man. Go to the games. Tickets aren't expensive. Take your family, go enjoy that. It's an unbelievable experience. I know what it did for me, my family, my teammates' families. It's just an unbelievable experience. And as players, we feed off of the fans. We feed off of that energy. So, you know what? Hey, if you want them to pick things up and win more games, let's put more people in the seats, right? Let's provide more energy for the Argos. So thank you to all the Argo fans, over the years and the continued support. So I appreciate it. I know the guys right now appreciate it, and let's go. We still got more games to play, so let's finish strong.
Yeah, well, real quickly and lastly, at 1-9, what are those Argos missing? You're following the league real closely. You're watching their games. What are they missing?
I'm not one. I'm a player, so I don't want to remove myself from that side, and start to be on this the other side of media, and I don't want to blend the two because I know
the
how
dark side that we're on. Yes,
sometimes. Yeah.
We'll take you, Chad. We'll take you.
I gotta be honest, man. I gotta be honest from what I've witnessed and noticed. I just think that locker room may be lacking a little bit of leadership. To see things blowing up on the sideline, players looking like they're going to get into fights, and every good team, every championship team has a tremendous locker room. I think I'm going to go to the Montreal Alouettes for a second here. They're playing good ball because their locker room is solid. I've followed them on their social media. I see a lot of the camaraderie, a lot of those things being done in the locker room. I don't know if the Argos are doing that. Look at Edmonton. They're having fun. The guys are having fun. Every team, every winning and successful team that I've ever been on, we had fun in the locker room. And they may be having fun. I don't know. But from my experience and what I know and what I see and what I've seen thus far, I think they may be lacking some of that. And, I could be wrong. Guys, Argos, don't hate on me for this. I'm just speaking as a vet, and they do have veterans on that team, and I think those guys need to step up in a positive way, not bitter, not yelling, but speak from their experiences. I know they got SJ Green over there, who's been in the Montreal system with Tressman and understands what it takes to win championships. Let's bring that in and apply that. Let's get everyone buying into those things. And I know Coach, Corey might have a different approach, but hey, players play, man. So if you're a player and you've been in winning systems and you understand what it takes when no one is watching, those are the things that you need to, have those player-only meetings and talk about. Man, hold guys accountable. And that's what it comes down to, man. Holding guys accountable, holding each other accountable, holding yourself accountable, and really, enjoying the time, because, man, like me, that's what I miss the most. I miss that preparation. I miss that locker room. I miss that routine. And, man, you don't want to be in that situation where you're out of it and regretting that you didn't really take full advantage of those times, because it's not always about the wins and losses, man. It's about, gaining those friendships and lifelong partnerships, as me and Ricky Foley are, man, best friends for life. And now we're starting a company together and we're going to be working together. And that's what it's about, man.
Well, the next time you come on, hopefully we can launch that. And I say good luck with it, Chad. And thanks for the time today. Hall of Fame player, more importantly, Hall of Fame person. Really enjoyed our time with you out here. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Rod, thanks, guys. Aloha.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.